So last time we found out that my KA is a huge pile of crap, and it's not really a big surprise, but it's still upsetting. I managed to find one already, which is like a huge relief. It's just a little far away, so we got to take a road trip, but we'll get that soon. In the meantime, we still got a lot of work on the chassis to do, so I'm not really worried about it. Right now, the big hurdle is the trans tunnel, and Brian's been doing an amazing job tackling that piece by piece. It's just going to take a while, but it's coming together, and tonight we're going to be adding a big chunk to it. In the meantime, there's something I want to do in the engine bay that doesn't really need to be done, but I think it'll be a cool piece. So we have our Civic frame rail, and then we have our 240SX style frame rail, and we had this big gap between them. I really want to plate this gap, like almost like an OEM style skirt, so it really kind of ties the whole thing together. Yes, it will add a lot of rigidity to it, and that's good, but honestly, I just want to make it look a little bit nicer. I don't want it to look like it's just like a bunch of square stock and tubular steel like welded together. I want it to kind of integrate seamlessly where it almost has like an OEM styling to it. Let's get some cardboard, make a template, trace it into metal, cut it out, and weld it in, and we'll be good to go. So I made this template a little while ago when I was bored, but really what I want to do is cover this notch right here in the frame that's probably for the crank pulley on the front wheel drive engine so we can clear it. So this goes just above that, so check it out. Already with some cardboard that looks way better, so let's get to it. Not bad, huh? Eh? Obviously the frame rails aren't symmetrical, like by any means necessary, but I figured if I make both plates symmetrical, the way they should just kind of lay on the rail will end up looking pretty good. So I'm gonna tack in the corners that sit pretty close to the rail, and then we're gonna kind of massage it into the shape of the rail and just let it fall where it wants to fall, and it should look pretty good. This thing's just tacked into place, but I could already tell this was definitely the move. Look how nice this looks. Kind of just makes it look like one big beefy OEM rail, so I really like that. Let's get this side tacked into place and see it all come together. So a little bit of B-hole hammer technique, and this thing is now sitting nice and flush. This frame rail sits wider than that one, so makes sense why we had to bend it more, but check it all out. Now that looks awesome. So I'm gonna spend the next like hour welding this all up and together. But B just got here, and he made a pretty cool piece at work today, and I'm excited for you guys to see it, so check it out.
Yo, what are you doing over there?
Yo, show him the goods, show him the goods.
All right, this is our drive shaft tunnel. You can see we actually got a taper going both directions. This side's wider than this side, and it's also taller than the back. So there's a double taper going on, but
check it out. So this is just gonna slip right on the two pieces that Bri already made. One in the back, one in the front, and you can weld all together, and it's gonna look beautiful.
yeah, and it's gonna slip in between the two layers of the floor pan as well. So it'll be really easy to weld in, and we should be able to get it done with all plug welds and a little bit of seam sealer at the end. Just like factory.
Oh, dude, that did so much for it. B, come check this shit out.
Dude, I saw it.
What?
It looks great.
Well, thanks, man.
Come over here and check this shit
Oh, I'm so happy I did that. All right, what's going on? Is this the big moment or what? What's up?
Actually, I think I'm gonna put a tack there, and then some self-tappers back here.
Use the self-tappers to hold it in place?
Yeah.
That's a good technique.
And then...
is that like industry standard?
Yeah, it kind of is. Especially when dealing with multiple layers. So like I can run a self-tapper through here, or a couple of them.
Oh, to pull it all together nice and tight.
It'll pull the inside layer to this layer, and then the outside layer to, you know, all three.
That's a smart technique. I would have never thought about
And
that.
then you just pull them out, and it's real easy to just weld up one hole. It's the size of this, 1/8 inch.
The more you know.
right, 2 tack welds and a self-tapper. I think we're ready for the track. Open season, baby.
That's how most people leave it. A little bit of seam here and good to go.
I hope no one stops watching the video right now and think that we're literally just self-tappering this thing together.
No, we're not. All right, so there's 3 layers here, right? And you can see I got all my self-tappers, and then I got all my holes. Now, since there's 3 layers, I pushed hard enough to mark the second panel, and now I'm gonna undo all my self-tappers, pull this out, and drill just a slightly smaller hole, and that way I'll be able to weld through all 3 layers with 1 weld. There you go. Now you can see I've made a little impression. So I'm gonna pop a hole in all those spots and then stick it back in, screw it back together, and start welding. It's the worst part. Trying to clean up this nasty ass sound deadening metal bull crap.
I told you.
Huh?
Use fire. You don't want to listen to me.
You got to turn the whole dang car down. Let's weld her up.
Since this layer is going to be wedged between the other pieces of metal, we don't want it to be bare metal, because if moisture gets in there, it's going to be a bad time. So we'll hit it with some edge primer.
Before you say in the comments, why didn't you use weld-through primer?
I don't have any.
So,
I don't know why we picked this height for the lift, but we're chilling.
that's the welder.
Yeah, because
It's cozy.
I'm sitting on a block of wood to get me to the right height. All right, what hole are we starting with? So I have to push against this while Brian screws from the outside, so it sandwiches this piece really tight.
We'll start
We're gonna, right here? All right. Oh, my hand. There we go. See the self-tapper like pull them all together, all 3 layers? So when he welds them, they're nice and tight.
Yeah, you got the big hammer? Anybody? No.
Yes. I'm so impressed.
I didn't think he was gonna. So Brian's supporting the other side with the big hammer while I'm making this sit a little closer with the small hammer.
Good.
We're good.
Yeah, that's super good.
So tight.
You got it. No. You got it.
All right, we're good. Here we go.
Oh, too. It's so hard sitting down too. I give you props for that.
All right, Jimmy, next one.
Yes, sir.
So I'm on the bottom, and Brian and I are basically hammering dollying things together through communication of words. And as Brian spot welds, I'm basically holding the layers as tight as I can so we get a nice tight seal.
You want to go right in front of that next screw? The
Yeah.
last screw?
Got ready?
Yep.
There we go. Make it while it's hot. Nice tight plug welds.
And that comes out.
Now we don't need the screws. Boom. Yeah, not bad. All right, so we saw the bottom. Now let's see how it looks in the. Oh wow, that looks.
It's done.
That looks good. Check it out. Look at how tight that layer sits against the tunnel. Integrated so nicely.
So now we can all grind all these welds back and then coat a seam sealer over that, and we're done.
So good. So hyped on that.
Yeah.
Nice piece, B.
Thank you, sir. It's funny, and it only took me like 5 minutes to make this piece.
Yeah, like that's the easy part. You know? It took us like 2 hours of like.
Installation.
Yeah. No, this is awesome. super hyped on this. Oh yeah, dude. Look how freaking cool this is. Honestly, yeah, once we seam seal it and paint it, it's gonna look so perfect.
Well, I mean, yeah, once this thing's painted, it seems that no one's gonna... If you didn't know what a Civic looked like, you'd be like, shit, it's a pretty straight looking tunnel.
This thing is so ridiculously strong, and I feel so good about this.
Do the jig.
That's a piece of sheet metal, boy.
How'd I do? Get it nice and tight or what?
No, you did. This is exactly. If I could have a guy sitting next to me at work on the other side of every panel I ever welded, woo! No, I gotta come up with ways with clamps and tons of clamps. Normally it's not that bad, but doing a tunnel here,
I know, dude. From
you
underneath,
need
it
a
looks
second
OEM.
guy to make it nice.
It looks OEM underneath. Love it. We keep talking about it. Can we just take another moment of appreciation to just see how good this came out? Like, those two layers just look so like fried apart and not clean in any manner. And now it's just, oh, it's so good. And look how straight it is. It's so level. It's just, that's a good feeling. It's a real good feeling.
I'm really happy with that. It was definitely a two-man job. I needed you underneath to do that because, like, I could have got the inside to look really good by myself, but to have you hammer that bottom made like the hugest difference. I mean, from underneath, it looks like the layers were designed to be that way, you know?
It looks like we can get away with making another section similar to the rear where it's just kind of straight and just widens out until we get about 8 inches away from the firewall. Then Brian's gonna have to make some crazy shape, and I think he's still pondering on how to do that.
Yeah, no, I've been plotting this whole time. It shouldn't be too bad.
For now, it feels good just to see that much done, and honestly, I'm so excited. And the skirts up front, guys, like, that really brought the front together, and it doesn't look like just some makeshift square stock in this car anymore. So, I still want to plate the ends right here and stuff, cap them off, and once it's all painted up, it'll look pretty good. So good. That's it.
This thing's stronger than your mom's Kia in an accident, so don't worry about it.
Stronger than a Volvo? Maybe not. Nothing stronger than a Volvo.
Today was a day about just getting stuff done, and we got a lot of stuff done. I got the skirts done, Brian got the tunnel done, and that honestly is just a huge step, even though it's just a couple pieces of metal. So we did good.
I'm excited. I know you're
Heck
excited.
yeah, today was it was a good progress day. Like I said, I think in the last video, it's gonna be a bunch of little things, and then parts will come together, and it'll seem like a lot got done, like today.
Perfect. So we're gonna end it there. You guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching the build and enjoying it. We really appreciate it. We're having a great time. And with that,
Stay tuned, and we will see you on the next go.
I'm cold-hearted and broke, I cold-started and choke. I grow part with my soul, the vote harder to grow. I know why, hey, I know why, hey, yeah. I'm cold-hearted and broke, I cold-started and choke. I grow part with my soul, the vote harder to grow. I know why.